Hey guys, and welcome to the Natty Blueprint podcast. This is episode 53. We have a very special guest on the podcast today, a man who pretty much tore up the whole of last year, really. I think I think it's probably better off, mate, you listing the shows that you didn't do rather than the shows that you did do. Um, but Patrick, Asante, how you doing, my man? How's things?
Ah, Thank you for that intro. Thank you so much for the intro. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Having a couple of injuries at the moment, but I'm sure it will mend this way over time. But yeah, apart from that, all good, all blessed.
Nice, nice.
Good to hear, mate. It's good to have you on as well. Obviously, I saw you quite a few times on stage last year.
Yes.
You were at I think the first show I saw you was it BNBF Southern you done?
Um, my first show was actually PCA Naturals 3, but BNBF was the week after that. So yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
turned out it was an interesting day. But yeah, anyway.
that yeah, that was the first one I saw you at, and then I pretty much saw you nearly every weekend from that. And I know you went to Thailand as well.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
obviously shared the stage together in the overall, which was cool.
yeah.
So yeah, like how did you find last season? If you could give us a little bit of like maybe a breakdown as well on, how many times you've competed in the past, how many seasons you've done, and what kind of led to all the shows last year as well.
Okay. Well, I'll start with last year because I think I did in total last year 10 shows. Um, yeah, so which is like it's nothing new to me because my previous season was 2023 and I did 11 shows. So I was prepared for it. Um, I was kind of prepared. I knew how it was going to be like to kind of navigate the season doing that many shows. I kind of planned everything according to my holidays. So if I was going on a holiday, I'm like, oh, is there a show around here that I can do? Okay, cool. There's a show there. I'll get a show done and get out of the way. And kind of like kill two birds with one stone, that kind of mindset and plan. But yeah, 10 shows in total. First one was end of July, and I believe the last one was 25th of November. So it was a lengthy season. Um, but I had a great season. I had like a great time with every single show. I love being on stage. So for me, it was just like almost like, okay, cool. How can we improve on the look, or how can we um, transition from the last show to this one? Just taking the feedback and just working on it really. But yeah, it could have gone. I think there were a couple of shows that I wanted to do, but I didn't plan it. I needed to kind of like take a strategic break from prep so I could be a bit more ready for the World Championships, which was the NBW. I really wanted to do that show, but like I said, I had to take that gap to kind of recover and then dig again for the second part of my season. And then prior
Yeah,
to
you
that, sorry, go on.
go on. You mentioned obviously doing 10 shows 2025, and
Yeah,
then was it 11 you said 2023? Did
yes.
you
So
notice much of a difference between like experience of doing that many shows? Was it better, worse? Like, just give us a bit of a rundown with that.
so in 2023, I believe the last show was probably my least favorite look of that season, and I think that's what kind of
Yeah,
transitioned my mindset for this coming season. It was like appalling. I don't know what happened with it, but anyway, I went. It was the two bros pro qualifier, natural pro qualifier in Lille, and we had everything planned. But I think at that point, I was digging a bit too much, and my body was just not recovering. And that
yeah,
was one lesson I learned from that year, which I brought into this year, which is why I took the big gap in between this past season. Um, but I just remember coming off stage, like, well, waking up that morning and looking at myself and thinking, I look shit. Like, this is horrible. Um, like, I just wasn't happy with the look at all. Like, we was trying to we put foot in, but it just wasn't. Because I was so fatigued, my body was not using up the food to kind of manipulate the body to look where we wanted it to look.
yeah,
Um, so I just remember going on stage and I just had zero confidence going on stage. And I just remember coming off saying to myself, I never ever want to feel like this again, ever. So I kind of like learned from that and used that to kind of plan the past season so that everything kind of went how I wanted it to go, basically.
Yeah. Did you just diet break in between the big gap last year? Is that what you did?
Yes, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did like I think I did like a maintenance phase for like 4 weeks, and then we kind of went back down to like a depletion phase of like dropping the food a bit, and then got ready for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that is really common, isn't it? Is like you kind of, if you've got a big season like that, like I mean, 10 or 11 shows in a season is crazy.
Yeah,
Like people think it's crazy when you do 5 shows, let alone double that.
yeah,
But you know, trying to master the look and also keep that freshness to the physique as well. There's kind of like a supposed understanding of like when you come in July, like if you are going to the shows in September, October, even November in your case, like you have to kind of have that approach and that timeline. Like you might have to agree, hey, this first show you might not be 100% in condition, but we need to keep that freshness like across the board throughout
yeah.
the whole season. So, you know, managing that is definitely difficult. So I feel for you and your coach trying to manage that such a long season because, you know, even with some of my guys like trying to branch shows that are like 6 7 weeks, it's always difficult, not only like just with the physique but also mentally as well, right? Like
Mhm.
keeping locked in after you've done one show and then going for another 7 weeks. It's a big graft.
It
Yeah,
definitely is.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. I think it takes it's almost like you have to prepare for it. Basically, you kind of in my mindset for the whole thing was like I just treated the whole prep as just part of my normality. Like I said, I was treated as I'm going on holiday, so it's part of my time off. So I just kind of like treat it as normal. Not, there's nothing different. And I think you've got that mindset where it becomes your lifestyle and that's something that you do all the time. It doesn't become so draining on you because you're set, like it's like normal for you basically.
Yeah, it's
And
your
I think
routine.
yeah, exactly, it's like a part of your routine. So keeping that mindset can definitely helped a lot, getting through last season especially.
Yeah. With obviously I'm assuming, are you taking a year out or are you gonna go again next year? Or this year,
Oh,
should I say.
I would love to go again this year, but I feel like it's taking just a half the year off to kind of grow will not make a big difference at all. Like, and
Yeah.
I feel like for the pro league, for me to bring my best, I'm gonna need a bit more tissue, especially on my top half anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna take a year out and hopefully be ready for 2027. We'll
And do
see.
15,
We'll see.
15 shows in 2027.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the
Just
goal.
try and beat it every year. How
Yeah.
many
Every
shows
year,
can I
yeah.
do in one year?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I
Oh
think
God.
me and Max spoke about it on the day that the other day on Friday. Was I think
All right.
like you've done like 30 odd shows, is that correct?
Oh
Or
yeah.
maybe
I genuinely I don't even know. I think I've done more than that probably. Like to be fair, some of the shows I've done multiple classes, so that's probably
yeah.
why
Yeah.
the numbers are so high. But I think in total, I don't think I've done 30. My first season I did two shows, which was 2021. So that was my first season. In 2021, I did two shows. I did PCA London first timers, and then I did UK UP British finals, and then the following year I did six shows. In 2026 I did no, so 2022 I did six shows, and then 2023 did 11, and then this last season did 10. So yeah, I'll say maybe 30 or just under
Yeah.
30 maybe.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
some
that
good
is
that's
going.
that is
that's it.
crazy.
That's a lot when you
How
put
would
it
you
that way in like a short time, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. Mate, it's
But
admirable to be fair. Like, obviously, you love it, right? Like, you love just being on stage and showcasing
mhm,
yourself, and especially as well, like a lot of naturals, you'll see them take like multiple years out. Like for example, my first season was in 2019, then I went again in 2022, and then last year. So I'm always kind of like the person who likes to take a few years away, but
yeah,
it's kind of admirable to see how much you're improving at a fast rate, like even between the years, like 21, 22, 23, and then you took a year out, 25. Like to just continuously always come back better for those years is really admirable. And it just shows
thank
hard
you.
work, doesn't it? Like to make those changes in such a small period of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely, yeah, thank you so much. It does. I think also having the right people around you makes a big, big difference. Like the group of guys I train with are pretty much all bodybuilders as well. So some of them compete, some of them are done competing, but we've all got the same similar mindset of constantly trying to better each other. And like it's like competitive but a healthy competition. So I think that's what's kept me improving every time because they will see something that I might miss, and then they'll be like, okay, you need to bring this up, or you need to do this much volumes, kind of bring that area up and stuff like that. And that's what we keep on doing with each other, and it's helping all of us like grow, which is very, very nice to see.
Yeah, you just sort of have other people's eyes looking at you, other people's
Yes, yeah,
ways of thinking as well.
yeah,
Yeah, and obviously potentially they might be competitors that you'll be going up against as well. So it's nice to have
yes, yeah,
someone
yeah,
that
yeah,
pushing themselves but also wants the best for you as well.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, nice.
So one thing I do want to touch upon is obviously you're quite known for your posing. Um, where did the kind of love for that come on board? 'Cause you're obviously a very good poser. I know you're a classic physique competitor, but you seem to just have that kind of flow with your posing. Did it come quite natural? Or was it something you had to kind of, obviously you have to work on it, but was it more of a natural thing?
I think so my original background is I did competitive cheerleading and gymnastics growing up. So I was always around the environment of like performance. I grew up watching like Michael Jackson like on a daily basis. Like so I think a lot of my passion and stuff on stage and performance on stage comes from what I've grew up watching and what I learned from
Yeah,
just being around. But I remember specifically the reason why I really got into posing was my first ever show. So the PC London, I lost by 1 point, and I waited for my feedback, and they was like, "Oh, your posing needs work," and I just remember thinking, "Wait, what?" And then I was like, "Okay, cool," and I was just like, straight from then, I was like locked in. I'll be doing my cardio, watching YouTube, watching like
yeah,
everyone knows my idol is like Rob Diesel, so I'm like, well, constantly watching him, studying from him, learn how he moves, learn how he does, you know, it's kind of like learn the basics from that, and then added my own flair to it, which kind of like then helped me generate this kind of personal look on stage and how I move on stage. So I think that made a big, big difference. I think, sorry, I think if I hadn't lost that show, I don't think I would be where I am today because the only reason why I went to do that show was because I went to watch my friend compete, my flatmate now, to support him. And I thought, oh, this looks cool. I'll follow a diet like him and see what happens. And then I dieted for like 12 weeks and then I went to do my first ever show. And then
nice.
that's that loss happened and then it triggered. I'm very competitive, like so it kind of like set me off. I was like, okay, cool, I can't let this happen again. I need to get better and improve and literally just, yeah. And here I am like 4 seasons later still competing. It's really, really random with it. It's meant to be just a one-off thing.
Yeah, 30 shows later, and he's nailed the
Yeah.
posing.
Yes, yeah.
No, that's cool because obviously that's what a lot of people do fall short on.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
anyone can have a great physique if you can't show it off, and the fact that after one show you was like, no, I'm gonna nail this now, and
yeah,
you probably noticed between the first and the second show there was a huge difference in terms of your confidence to do it, but also just in terms of how you're presenting yourself as well.
yeah. It made a huge difference just like seeing it. Like I still see pictures now from like the first show and I'm just like, what on earth was I doing? I can see what the judges saw now.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
that's why it's so important that people listen to the judges' feedback because it's not like it's never personal, it's actually always help you get better. So yeah,
yeah,
that's one thing I don't take for granted at all. I will wait 6 hours, I have to wait for the feedback.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it worked for you because now everyone knows you for your posing and how well you've done. So
Thanks
judges'
so much.
feedback works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. There is a definitely like a correlation that I've made this correlation in my head that usually people who can dance well have got like a similar kind of dancing background. I've always taken to posing really, really well. And like for someone like myself, mate, I can't even nail a two step, right? So let alone trying to trying to nail some flow
Yeah,
on stage. And even like with my routine this year, I did practice it, but it just never it never looked how I wanted it in my head. But yeah, it is like admirable just the amount of effort like people put into their posing. And I know like I was literally doing it so much and it still never really clicked. Like I
Yeah.
was always happy with the shots, but it was like the transitions and just making that flow just look seamless in a way. When mine was a little bit kind of rigid and just a bit all over the place.
Do you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
can't move.
I agree. I have to agree with you because the different type of posing clients I work with, like the ones that are from the with the dance background or like performance background, are the ones that pick up very, very well. At the
Yep.
same time, I think there is a way of like really understanding. If you learn to listen to music really well and you understand the beats, it can make you, it can change anyone to a great performer. And what I tend to, I always test this people out, test this out with people when I work with them. I let them listen to the music and I tell them, okay, let's just make the sound of the beat. Like for example, like I'll let them like click to the beat, and it's always
Yep.
they listen to they always follow the top layer of the beat. But when I try to touch them, I personally I teach to listen to the background. There's like different layers of beat. So listen to the first beat. Once you get that unlocked, like the flow is going to be
Yep.
seamless. It's going to be very, very seamless. And I think that's one trick that a lot of people are missing because they're listening to like the first one they hear. When it's just like there's different layers to the music, so you have to listen deeper than you think for the right flow and to move well, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows you like with performing or bodybuilding, presenting your physique, there's a lot more to it than just
Oh,
the
100%,
transitions. Like you said,
100%.
like you're listening to certain bits of music or how you, in terms of like performing as well. Obviously, performers typically have better awareness of their body as well. Obviously,
Yeah,
being
yeah,
bodybuilders, we probably have more awareness than most people. But
mhm,
when you maybe come from watching music, watching performers, or doing it yourself, you're gonna have that extra layer of
yeah,
just
yeah,
awareness of where your body's sitting without needing to look at it as well. So
yeah,
that's obviously what people struggle with the most is when you're practicing your posing. A lot of the times you're going to be practicing in front of a mirror.
yeah,
Take that mirror
yeah.
away, then all of a sudden you're
And
like, is it
it's
the same?
different.
And then
It's
you
like,
watch it
yeah,
back and it's never the same.
yeah. I
Yeah,
agree with that.
it's
Yeah,
tough.
you always play the whole like,
So
okay,
if
cool,
you
you've
had
done.
to give anyone, sorry, go
So
on.
God, I was just gonna say like a lot of times you just like they practice in front of the mirror, but always tell them to face away, like take face away from the mirror, and then let them do their pose, and then it's a totally different thing because they're so lost, and it's quite interesting to see that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I kind of ask clients as well when they check in. Like, never use their front-facing camera. Always use the rear, not only for just the quality of shots, but also just so they're not constantly trying to view themselves on their phone or posing in a mirror. Like it's so important. I
Yeah,
know there's a couple of like posing coaches. They even get people to pose in clothes, so they
right.
don't like
know
they're
where the
not
body's.
they
Yeah,
yeah, so they're just kind of free flowing with it rather than actually like consistently looking themselves in a mirror,
Yeah,
which is a cool little trick, I suppose.
yeah, yeah. Until you take the clothes off, and then you realize your body's not nearly where you want it.
it's
It's
a
terrible. You've got to change it again.
yeah.
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 So if we're
What's
going to bring it right back then, what made you get into bodybuilding? Obviously, you've done a load of shows now, but if we take it back to 2021 when you had your first season, what kind of brought you into the gym? What kind of brought you into the bodybuilding environment?
I think it was curiosity, to be fair. Like, I think so. I stopped competitive cheerleading and and gymnastics. So I wanted to do something to kind of stay in shape. So I was going gym, but I had no clue what I was doing. I was just like going there, lifting weight, just kind of doing lots of cardio, trying to like not get fat. And I met my flatmate. I think he was just walking by. He had just finished training chest, and I'm like, bro, what the hell? Why is your chest so big? Like, I'm trying to get my chest that big, and that's literally how our friendship started. And like, this was like back in 2018, I believe, 2017. And then yeah, we
Yeah.
just got chatting, and then it's like, yeah, come join me in my next session, and we train together. And we started training together. We just did the whole Larry Wheels powerlifting program, like constantly battling us, like literally squatting 3 times a week. It was brutal. So we
Right.
learned we learned to dig very, very from the early stages, and then he decided to do. He's always wanted to. had planned to do bodybuilding, but his first season was in 2021. Like I said, then he got with a coach. His coach, I believe, was I can't remember the guy's name. But anyway, he started prepping for his show, and I was like, okay, cool. If you're dieting, I'm gonna try and follow a diet and see if I can handle it. So I did like almost like pretty much did like the 12 weeks with him while he was dieting, kind of like doing my own meals based on what he was having, not having a clue what I needed whatsoever. Um,
Yeah.
Managed to learn to control myself on the diet, and then I went to watch a show, and I thought, okay, this looks quite cool. Let me just give it a go, see how it turns out. And then I then
Yeah.
got a coach, and then they got ready for my first show. And like I said, I just like that feeling of being on stage was just something that was I just kept on craving it. I was like, this is awesome. I like it gave me a purpose, I guess, instead of like because I stopped competing. I had like something to kind of keep me aligned and keep me in check so that I don't get out of shape. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna do this, see how it goes. Enjoyed it, loved it, and just realized I didn't even know there was like a natural league and then like a assistant league when I first started. I just signed up for bodybuilding. So I think my first season I just did open show. My second season I did all open shows as well. Um, until I found out there was a natural division. I said, wait, what? That's natural division. So I've been playing this game on a hard level the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, literally. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I believe I did my second season. I did when I found out about UKDFD, I did the sevens, and then wanted to qualify for you have to qualify. I think that's place top three to make it to finals or top five to make it to finals. And I think I believe I placed fifth in classic, but that was my first ever classic show. Um, and then I didn't
Yeah.
qualify for classic, but I did for men's physique. And then there was the same weekend I was meant to be going to
The
Thailand.
men's physique.
So I was like, yeah, bro's done all of it, mate. Yeah, so I couldn't do the finals because it was the same weekend as I was meant to be in Thailand. So I just didn't end up doing the finals. So that was my first ever natural season. And then I started looking more into it, came across like all these other natural federations, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I guess I can compete in that league. But I actually found the natural leagues a lot more harder than the open shows when I started. Because I was like, wait, at my first show, like I said, I placed second, and my second show, I took overall. And that was both on assisted shows. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then my first natural show, I came fifth. I was like, oh, okay, maybe, maybe I'm not that good at all. Maybe I should pack
Yeah.
in the bags. But yeah, but it opened my eyes to like a totally different level of like conditioning that you need to bring in, like shape, presentation, all of that stuff. So it I just wanted to get better every time I competed, and yeah, that's how I got started. Basically, I just didn't want to get fat.
Yeah. What's your first kind of gym environment you mentioned with your mate there? Was it like a proper bodybuilding gym, or was it
Oh
just
no
like
no
your
no!
stand?
It was like the gym group with the same song playing every time. We
Yeah.
still take the piss out of it now every now and then. Like I think it was a song like "So I Can," and that song just kept on repeating
Yeah.
24/7 every time I was in the gym. So it's like stuck in our heads. But it was just a normal gym, like, nothing. I think the dumbbells went up to like 35 kg. And I just remember
Yeah.
saying to him, like, once we get to 35K, we've got to move gyms, but we can't train here anymore. Like, and then the day that we both hit 35 kg on the chest press and like that, was like, yep, okay, we're done. We're moving to bodybuilding now. We've earned the rights now.
Yeah. Let's go to a proper. It was the
Yeah,
same with
let's
me.
get
Like
to, yeah,
my first gym was the gym group, and I think they went up to like 38s, and
right.
I stayed there for so long,
So
and then I
like,
was like, I need to go to a proper gym now. Yeah.
it's a big difference though. Like, I remember my first proper gym was Absolute Gym in Lakeside. And I remember when we first walked in, it was just for like, oh shit, it's very intimidating because you see like all these actual bodybuilders and you're just like just this little kid of the street kind of trying to keep up. It was yeah, very intimidating. But at the same time it was so welcoming because they obviously see that you're trying to get better, you're trying to learn. So they were all open to helping out, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think obviously it is a big misconception within bodybuilding. Like you're walking to a bodybuilding gym if you're not a bodybuilder, But everyone's trying to do the
Yeah,
same thing anyway, so chances
yeah,
are they're going to just invite you in as one of their own. So yeah, it is nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's very. I think
100%.
I've found out in every single bodybuilding gym I've been to, like everyone is more than happy to help you. It's never
Yeah,
like it seems intimidating to go in there, but once you're in there, everyone's like more than happy to help you, which is pretty cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So with last year, then there was quite a few international shows. Then I think didn't you travel to Singapore? Obviously, you went to WMBF Worlds as well. How
Yeah.
was all of that traveling? Obviously, there are quite long flights, like dealing
Oh
with
yeah.
that as well and prep and things like that. How did that all
Yeah.
go?
It was
Just gonna put the loop.
yeah, it's all right. It was interesting for sure. It was interesting for sure. I think like so I did Singapore, then I did New Zealand, and then obviously LA for Worlds. Um, and I did Ireland as well, actually in between. I did Ireland. That's the
Yeah,
first time I'm going to Ireland. But it was all every single one of them's got like a reason why I went there. Um, the first one, Singapore, was always going to be the show that I wanted to do, just because I saw the live show from the year before, and the setup was incredible. And I always watch like Asian bodybuilding, like uh, YouTube vlogs and stuff like that. I never understand what they're saying, but it's bodybuilding, so you can kind of like guess what's going on. So that's always in the house at home. So I was like, oh, I would love to compete in Asia one day, like just. And then I saw that show, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe I can prep for this show, see how it is. I can go as part of my holiday. I'm going to be there on a trip anyway, so I can just compete while I'm there. And then I did that, and that went way more than I expected, which was pretty cool. Um, and then while I was doing my first show, which was the PCA one, there was a lady that competed in figure, I think tone figure from Ireland. I think she took the overall in the Irish show that we both did. She popped up when I came off stage. She came up to me and speaking to me about my posing and all that, and how she would love for her little son, her little boy, to see me perform and all that, perform one day. And then she told me about she's doing that show in Ireland. I was like, oh, okay, well, it's not on my schedule, but do you know what? Because she reached out to me about that, I thought it was really sweet of her. So I was like, I'll come and do that show. That at least your son will be able to watch me perform. So that was the main
yeah,
reason why I went to Ireland. Um, yeah, and then the kid came to watch the show, and he just loved it, and it was so sweet to see, like, how I didn't realize that by posing could have such effect on anyone. So it was very, very nice and very warming, heartwarming to see for him to come up to me after the show and then say all of us how much he enjoyed it. And then I did obviously New Zealand as well, which I think every single one of those trips was a nightmare to get to. First of all, so if you are doing like uh, international shows, make sure you plan ahead. For Singapore, it was meant to be, I believe it's meant to be 23 hours journey to get there, which was long enough. But the kicker of it was the flight took off late in from London to it was a connection flight from London to Delhi, and then from Delhi to Singapore, and they took off late in from London. So when I got to Singapore, my connection flight had gone. So
wow,
that literally threw everything off track. We've tanked every meal for the journey,
Yeah,
fluids and stuff like that. So that completely threw everything off track. And then they had to then try to find me a flight to get to Singapore because it's like saying I have to wait till the next one to go. And I was like, I can't. I need to be there the next day to do my check-in. And I had to get my urine sample, then like all that test, like a lie detector test done, and everything was booked already. So I had to get there before that morning. So I was going back and forth with them, arguing with them. I'm like, bro, I'm not leaving this airport until you guys find me the next flight because it's not on. Like literally
yeah,
arguing with them. And I was like, you guys have literally ruined my whole trip. Like, do you guys understand how much effort has been planned to get to this point? And then you're gonna just tell me I've got to sit here and wait to the next morning for the next flight. It's not gonna happen. So
yeah,
luckily they kept on looking around to find a flight from there to Nepal. So I then had to fly from there to Nepal and then get a connection flight from Nepal to Singapore, which basically made the whole journey 32.5 hours. So it added at least 10 hours to my journey, which was like horrible experience, horrible
no,
experience. Um, then we got there. Luckily, we did not put any like. In fact, we got there it was a lot flatter than we were supposed to be. Dropped a shit ton of weight for on flight. So it took a lot of refeeding to kind of get my body back online to compete that weekend. So yeah, I'm never doing that again because that's a horrible experience. Um, and then so Ireland, the same thing happened. Guy in there, the flight got delayed for 3 hours. I'm never flying Ryanair ever again because that was a horrible experience. Horrible experience. Like literally 3 hours. I think I was at the airport on the way back home, same time as you. I think I saw you guys there, but you guys were already home, and I still had to wait another 3 hours for my flight back home, which was like horrible.
Oh.
Yeah, it was so bad. Um, and then New Zealand was probably the longest flight as well. That was another 3 hours flight there, but that was actually there was no issues with the travel. It was just a long travel.
Yeah. With like the longer trips,
Hmm.
how many days before would you travel up, like New Zealand, Singapore, before your
So
show day?
so I made sure I got there at least 3 days before the show. Um,
Yeah.
just because it gave me enough time for my body to kind of, if there was any inflammation on the flight, it gave me enough
Yeah.
time for that to go down before it got ready. So 3 days. I think New Zealand was the only one that's like a bit. It was like 2 days because we originally had the show down as the Sunday for the show, but it was actually the Saturday, um, which
Right.
was really confusing because when I signed up to register, I was meant to be on a Sunday, but for some reason it was. I don't know if I read the dates wrong or what, but it was a day earlier than it was supposed to be. So that was a kind of
Yeah.
like a bit of a mission to kind of get ready because we got there and had like literally 2 days to kind of try and fill up and then get ready for the show. Um, but apart from that, it was pretty decent flight. The flight was like easy to get to. Um, there was no like any delays whatsoever. It was just the fact that I got there a day less than we planned to, so we kind of almost like started refeeding like the moment I got there. Like as soon as I got
Yeah.
to my Airbnb, it was like, okay, cool, get this food in, get that food in, get that food in, and then yeah, we pretty much
Yeah.
managed to nail it. He's a I don't know how he does it. He's an incredible coach, so he always knows how to kind of like stops you from stressing so much. And I can be a stress head like big time
Yeah.
when it comes to prep. So he just knows how to kind of like calm me down and I was like, okay, I'm just trusting you. Just tell me what you need me to do. If you need me to be in bed right now, do this, that, just tell me and I'll do it. And he always kind of keeps everything very structured for me. So yeah.
Yeah. With traveling as well, like when you touch down in the other countries,
Hmm.
is there a bit of pre-planning with what food sources you're going to have available? Do you like kind of research where and what you can get?
So I don't necessarily like research what I'm gonna get because I feel like I should because that would probably take a lot of stress off me. But a lot of
Yeah.
time I take majority of the stuff that I need to take with me, like all my carb sources, all my fat sources, because I don't want to get
Yeah.
there and then like different carb source, or like or different fat source. The only thing I usually get is when I'm at the destination is like in chicken and kind of like beef if it's needed. But in terms of like carbs and fats, I always bring everything with me, like dark chocolate, um, like peanut bar or like almond bar. I just use the same brand all the time, so I just pack that with me in my suitcase and just take that along with me. So it just makes it a lot more easier.
Yeah. Saves worrying about it when you get there. Because I've seen a
Yes,
few people,
exactly.
when they travel, they don't take much, and then
Yeah,
they can't get hold of their normal carb sources, and then they're
and
like just cramming in whatever they can get hold of,
yeah,
especially if you're like peaking on a lot of food.
yeah. It's I don't know how to do it because I could not do that. Like, because you then start to stress over, oh, is this food gonna digest well with you? Or I know it's the same kind of food, but is it gonna digest well with you or not? So yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to avoid as much as I can. I think in Singapore, what I actually did in Singapore was when I got there, I could not get. Oh, so when I got to Singapore, there was like a local shop next to me that did like they cooked like rice and like chicken fresh. So I
Yeah.
went there and I spoke to them. Obviously, they put their seasoning and stuff in. And I just remember going to the lady and be like, I'm begging you, I'll pay you this much money if you can just give me just plain rice and plain chicken. And then like the guy, and then she was like, yeah, that's totally fine. I'll do it for you. And then she literally it was so cheap as well, like ridiculous. I was getting like what essentially was like about a kilo of rice or 2 kilos of rice for like a pound, which is like nothing. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, that saves me a lot of hassle. I just like, I feel like a lot of people take, when you go to places like that, just feel if you ask people, they will do it for you. If you don't
Yeah.
ask it, then you're not gonna get it. So she was very, very easy to speak to, and she was able to get things for me properly, which was quite nice.
Yeah, no, that's good. So we're all going to move to Singapore because we can get chicken and rice
Yes.
really cheap.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so you save all the money on the chicken and rice and food, but then all your expenses will go on your accommodation because that shit is
Yeah,
expensive over there.
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, not
What was
good.
your favorite show then? Like out of all the experiences you had, which one was the favorite?
Oh wow. I think I've got like they all have like different. I liked it, all of them for different reasons. It's hard to kind of pinpoint. I think if I had to pinpoint one of them that has the highlight of my year, would probably be the World Championships because I did not expect to come back as a world champion. I just generally just thought I'm just going there. If I can even place top five, I'll be very, very happy. So to come out there as a world champion was like like something I did not expect at all. Um, just because we all saw the Brazilians going after leading up to the show. We also, I think just before that show was when everyone saw the WNBF Brazil, and we saw all the guys and like, what the fuck are they feeding them over there? Why they're all so phenomenal? So I was thinking, oh great, I'm gonna get smoked at Worlds, man. Like these people are gonna be like coming from Spain. The Spanish team was strong, the Brazilian team was strong, the American team was strong. So it was like, yeah, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. And then I just remember just being on stage and they was doing their comparison rounds, and I got moved to center, and I was expecting to get moved out again. I was just like, okay, they've not moved me. Are these people? It's what the hell's going on, sort of thing.
It might be on.
Yeah, and I was like, it might be mine, what the hell's going on? And then like I just didn't get moved, and I was like, and we come off stage, and I literally started crying because I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then
Yeah,
obviously did my routine, and then that was came around, and that at that moment I was like, yeah. I actually remember doing my routine, and literally as soon as I finished the routine, I was walking off, and just tears started pouring out my eyes. Like literally, just, like I couldn't control my emotions just because I was like, I can't believe I've made it to Worlds, and not only that, I might actually be winning at Worlds, which was like incredible. That was
yeah,
the most
same.
surreal feeling ever. So
Oh,
I'll probably
Yeah,
say Worlds would be I'll say Worlds just because of that experience, that all those little moments. That definitely be my favorite
yeah,
show of the year.
the emotion that come with it as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
cool. Should we move into some questions then?
Yes. Did
Yeah.
you screenshot them?
I did. Yeah, I did. Luckily enough, I didn't archive my story again and lose all the questions.
I only got a handful, so
Cool. Josh Dandy's asked, biggest mistake you made that turned into a good one or a good result?
My biggest mistake I made was digging too hard for the Pro Qualifier in 2023. I think that if I hadn't had that experience, I don't think I would have been the athlete I am this past season, just because I realized to take a break and like give my body time to recover. Um, and just from that, it taught me so much. It taught me not to, like you don't always have to be. I think a lot of times, especially for natural guys, we tend to be like, oh, I just need to dig. I want to dig. I need to dig to bring in condition, and we get locked in this hole. Um, this deep hole of like thinking, oh, we just need to get more condition. We need to get, but then sometimes you don't always need to be fully conditioned. You just need to be recovered enough to look your best. So
yeah,
yeah, I think hands down that was definitely the biggest lesson that I learned, which I think turned into a positive.
Cool. Nice, easy question, this one. What is Pat's favorite perform flavor?
Oh God. Okay, so this one is going to be all right. So I've got two at the top at the moment. I'm not at the moment like but overall, I think it would have to be. I love the raw velvet cake one. That's very good. I feel like that can, especially on prep, like that sweet cake is just off spot
yeah.
on. That and this one might be very very different for everyone. Or people think, wait, what? I don't know if you guys have tried the peach, the the smooth peach one. It's like milky
No.
peach, bro. You guys need to try that. That is
Okay.
sensational. It's like yeah. It comes out because in my gym, my old gym anyway, they always whenever they came out, there was never enough of them. So if you don't get it quick, it was gone.
Yep.
And doing prep, I tried that for the first time, and I was like, what is this flavor? Like, yeah, but the peach, goated.
Okay.
That's definitely my top two.
Do you just have that as it is, or do you have it with like
I'll
cream of
make it.
rice?
I'll have mine like as a paste, and have it like cream of rice, or I'll have it with like
Yeah.
oats. Really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a massive fan of like just drinking protein shake on its own. I just find it like bland.
Yeah.
I'd rather just make a mug cake or like make a paste for oats. Really,
Okay. I might have to try the peach one for next time.
yeah. Give it a
Yeah,
I'll get
go
a
for
sample
sure.
first.
it's a rogue flavour shout.
It is
I'm going to
very
say
rogue.
that
It
now.
It is very rogue.
it is, it is.
I'm a sticky toffee pudding guy at the moment. I can't get
Yeah,
enough of that.
See,
that's number one.
I have to agree with you. Actually, when I tried that, I actually like that. I really, really like that. But I had to. I feel like I've not had it consistent enough to make it my top
Yeah.
flavor yet. But yeah, I do like the cinnamon flavor cake that comes with that. That's really nice flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. They are goated.
Josh has asked, how many white monsters do you think you drink every year?
Oh God, I could
Too.
not. Too many is the
Yeah.
answer.
I mean, last year was a lot. I've barely had any this year. I know we're only like
We're
2
only
weeks,
18 days in, mate.
but I probably had like 3 cans of Monster this year,
Oh wow.
which is not a
Yeah,
lot. I had one this
that's.
morning.
I think I did like. To be fair, like I was never a massive fan of like energy drinks until the last season. Um,
Yeah.
and I think I drank a bit too much because at least I could not go a day without it last
Yeah.
season, which is like mad. Whereas before I would never, you never catch me drinking any drinks because I'm
Yeah.
like one of those guys that would happily train fasted or like with no caffeine just because in my mind I'm like if I can do it while I'm tired or if I can do it no external source of energy, then I can survive anything. So that's literally that
Yeah.
was my mindset pretty much.
Yeah. I remember when I was in prep, it would be walk to the shop, get a can of Monster, bottle of water, and packet of chewing gum.
Typical.
That'd be my trip to the shop.
Monster just hits different though when you're in prep though, doesn't it?
Oh,
Like
It does.
that
It
first
does.
sip of a cold white
Oh,
Monster just.
yeah. Slaps. Slaps.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's
Josh, to answer your question, mate, it's hard to.
too
I'm going to
many.
say 365. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A minimum of one a day. Easy.
One a day. Actually,
Yeah.
if I was at a show, it'd probably be two a day. If I was at a show for a client.
Rush has asked competitive goals for next season.
For me or for all of us?
Go for it. I think we've all probably answered it, so we'll go
Yeah.
with you.
Okay, so for me, like, I guess I'm not competing this season, but for next season, the goal is to basically, I would like, because my goal this year was to kind of set a standard with Classic especially, and I
Yeah.
feel like with every federation that I competed with last season that was kind of like, it kind of, I nailed it on the head just because I feel like the placing kind of defined it. I did it at Worlds, which means my next goal is kind of set that standard at Worlds. I want to kind of like hopefully go on stage and look where people are going to be like, okay, cool, this is what we want for the class because it's still very, very new to like WNBF. So we need to. I want them to be established a look that people can be like, okay, this is the look we're looking for Classic. So that's definitely my
Yeah.
goal for next season.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
What inspires you to keep on winning and competing after so many shows last season?
I think I think there's no it's it's not so much inspiration that keeps me going. It's more so like a challenge for myself. I think that's what keeps me going because I'm like, okay, I've done this show. This is what they look for. How can I then? I've got this show next. How can I make my look fit the criteria of what they're looking for? So it's almost like a challenge for me. It's kind of like make them fit the look they're looking for every show, rather than a motivation that keeps me going. And because the win, like you can win as many times you want, they're only going to be sitting there collecting dust. It doesn't really count. Everyone's going to forget about that. But it's almost like
Yeah.
chasing that kind of feeling of self like self challenge. You set yourself a challenge and be like, okay, cool, I've done it now. What's next? How can I improve? How can I be better? So I think that's what, if anything is motivating me, I'll say myself to be better the next time round. So that's what keeps me going, I believe.
Yeah.
got a question from Alex. Question for all three of you. Favorite peak week protocols?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, there's so many different.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Whatever works,
Probably my
exactly.
favorite would be less cardio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I think to be pretty like foolproof, like a linear load is just the easiest kind of protocol to go with peak week.
yeah,
I've tried all of them though with clients. Do you
Yeah.
remember you probably done it back in the day, like the fat load and then the carb load and a
Yeah.
depletion
Yeah. I've
day
done.
and things
I
like that.
think even this year we've done like we did all different ones for each different show. Like, and I think I personally hate. So we tried the uh loading heavy at the start and then kind of like leading out, like dropping it down and maintaining till the rest of the week. And for me, I hated seeing that just because I hate when I stood on the scale and my scale weight had gone up, I start stressing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like is this gonna land the look that we want?
yeah,
So I personally hated that. I prefer kind of like fat and pro fats and then load in like 2-3 days up before the show and then it's kind of like yeah, letting the soul dry before the show. That's what I feel comfortable with, just because I feel like I don't have to stress so much. Because then once I see the scale going up, I'm just thinking, I know it's not important and no one should focus on that at all, but like mentally, it kind of plays. It can be very very tricky, especially if you're doing like international shows and you think, fuck, why am I 2 kilos up or like or whatsoever? That should not be the case. You know what I mean? So it kind of throws you off a bit, but I'd rather just kind of like pro fats and then load a couple of days before the
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
yeah. It's what you know you're comfortable with and what you feel like you can
Yes.
predict
Yeah.
as well. Especially if your coach knows it works, there's no need to throw
Yeah.
something new in.
Yeah, you need like a stress reduction protocol. That's the best one for
Yeah.
peak week, isn't it? Just keep
Yeah,
your stress
Yeah.
super low, and usually it turns out all right.
definitely. Rosh has also asked, any plans for guest posing this year?
Guest
Oh,
posing. There
okay.
you go.
So I've got an invitation for the Singapore show this year for guest posing. So that would be
well,
pretty cool to do. I would definitely love to do more guest posing, like if any federations reach out to me and whatsoever. But like it's until they reach out to me, I can't really be like, hey, can I come and guest post? It's kind of a bit weird because like reaching out to the show. But if I do get an invitation to any show, I'll be more than happy to. If I'm free, I'll be more than. I know so far I've definitely got the invitation for Singapore. And
yeah.
I'll speak to the guy from the Taiwan show as well. So I don't know if that's gonna go ahead, but we will see. We will see.
That's cool. That's really really cool.
Cool experience.
Sean Lopez has asked, which was your toughest show last season?
Oh wow. I think the Ireland show was probably like my toughest show. See, I don't know
was
if
in
he's
the
talking
overall.
about. Yeah, I don't know if he's talking about competition wise or like experience wise. I think that so if it's there's two different ways I'm seeing this question, and the toughest show in terms of like stress and leading up to the show and stuff like that, probably the Ireland show, because I just got there and just didn't feel like I think the stress from the travel really got to me and it did not help me at all. So I just felt like, oh, this is a tough one. So in that aspect, I did not like that would be for that. In terms of like competition wise, I think probably Worlds, the pro show at Worlds was probably the toughest one just because everyone was so like incredible. Like everyone looked so good. So just seeing everyone backstage was just kind of like, okay, this is what real competition is like. And it was like it was also the fact that they actually made us work so hard on stage. Like we was on stage for about 25 to 30 minutes and they just kept us doing rounds and rounds and rounds and think, bro, like my shoulder was just like my delts were just crumping up from just trying to pose. It was that hard, like making us hold poses for like literally 10 seconds every time before they let us move on. So I think in terms of like stage, being on stage time, the time on stage and the actual caliber of athletes definitely well. So that was the toughest one I've been to.
It made you work for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Sean's also asked, which federation will you continue to compete in as a pro and why?
This is the very tricky one. So I think, if I'm honest, if I'm gonna probably stick with WNBF, just because it allows you the freedom to compete with other federations. Whereas with NPC, if I decide to sign an NPC contract, then I'm cooked. I can't do any other federations whatsoever. It just has to be NPC. And for me, I don't have a goal of going to Olympia, because I could never get to Olympia. I don't think so. If I feel like if I stick with NPC, it will be a case of just me just paying them to just be an athlete and not really benefiting much from it. Whereas with WNBA, you have the freedom to compete in their federation,
Yeah,
and I get to kind of help promote natural bodybuilding to the right direction if I have an open platform to kind of go with every natural federation rather than just one. So yeah,
yeah.
WNBF is going to
It
be the
makes the
route.
most sense.
Yeah.
And then final question, how many In and Out burgers is too many post show?
You can never have enough In and Out burgers. I think I had literally 6 burgers out the world. We went there 3 times in the same night. So I went there with 3 different groups
Breakfast,
of
lunch, and
friends. No, I wish it was. It was the same night. So I went there with like my pals from Australia, who I met when I was in New Zealand, and then I went there with the British team, and then I went there again later with my friends from Canada. So I went there 3 times in the same night, and every time I went there, I got 2 burgers minimum. There was a guy that was sat next to me who had about 7 burgers, and he was just like, yeah, he from Canada. He was just like loving life. So there was never enough. You can just keep going, keep going.
Did you weigh yourself the day after?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't. To be fair, I was like, I I was quite good because I had like a photo shoot booked on a Tuesday after the show. So luckily I didn't. If I think I don't know what I did not. My weight did not go up like crazy. It went up by like half a kilo, I think. I've even after eating all that many burgers. But that was the only thing I had off plan because I knew I had the photo shoot. So I just had those 6 burgers, no chips whatsoever, just the burgers, and it's like. The next day, I just went for like long ass walks to kind of help digestion, and then I
Yeah,
did the photo shoot after, and then after that, I went Chick-fil-A, and then just went ham. Like I don't
and
know if you
then
guys saw
back
my stories. I
and
had
back
like
in.
yeah, and then backing it out. I don't know if you guys saw my stories, but I had like a suitcase with me, which is like I'm a big fan of Chick-fil-A sauce, so I bought like half the suitcase was like all the different flavors of Chick-fil-A sauces, packed, literally just packed in half the suitcase. It was there. I got to the airport and I was like, your bag's overweight by 5 kilos. I was like,
Don't care.
I don't care. It's kind of this stuff is coming home with me. I'm not leaving it here. So yeah, that was just pretty cool. But yeah, but you can never have enough. You can never have enough.
That's funny.
Brilliant. Well, Patrick, thank you for coming on, my man. Last but not least, give yourself a plug. Where can people find you? Give you Instagram, YouTube if you have it, etc., etc.
Right. So at the moment, I'm just running on Instagram at the moment, which is the original. So it's hard to find. Just look for Krabby Patty or the original _fat _pat1, and you find me on Instagram.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll put it in the link in the description anyway.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming on, mate. It's been
Thank
an
you so much for
absolute
having
pleasure having
me.
you.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
it's been
much.
good.
Yeah, make sure everyone like, comment, subscribe on this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Take care, guys.